And we got Bob Holt from the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette joining us on this lovely Thursday. Bob, the sun is shining. It's beautiful outside. It's crossover season. So it's got to be a good time to be a sports writer working for the Democrat-Gazette. Do you enjoy crossover season, or is it a little tough to, keep your head on a swivel and everything? Because I'm trying to prep for like 3 games at the same time, 3 different sports, and sometimes it's tough to focus on just one of them. What's this like for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's a fun time because especially when the teams are doing well. I mean, in 2018, 2019, I think fans and media and whoever almost couldn't wait for basketball season to get here because football was so bad. I mean, you knew, you'd write something about football and you think, boy, how much do our readers honestly care about this? I bet they care a lot more about, the basketball exhibition coming up than the next football game because the football team was honestly so bad. And obviously I know the interest level in cross country isn't the same as football, but, I think people in the state appreciate how good Arkansas is in those sports. So, yeah, you got the LSU football game, you got the Gardner-Webb basketball game, you got NCAA cross-country regionals on Friday, you just had signing day and all these sports. So it's a busy time, but it's good to be busy. I mean, if you were bored, you probably wouldn't be doing your job very well.
That's right.
That's true.
Better to be busy and feel like you might be just a tiny little bit overwhelmed than bored and wondering what the heck to do with yourself. So we don't have to worry what the heck to do with ourselves. We can talk about, let's get into this football game on Saturday against LSU. You guys had a chance to talk with Trey Knox on Tuesday. He and KJ Jefferson were part of the players made available to the media. And boy, his story has been really incredible to watch over these last, really, 3 seasons. Comes in as a highly touted wide receiver, and he's no longer a wide receiver. And I thought that the move to tight end was an idea of the coaches. Come to find out through Trey talking to you guys that was his idea that he went to the coaches with. And it's just amazing to think about when you look at the 2 players that had chances to move to tight end. Mm-hmm. One of them is now the starting running back in Dominique Johnson, and the other guy was expected to be like one of your best wide receivers. Now he might be your best tight end.
Yeah, Trey's an interesting guy. I think he's very mature for his age. He came in, he had a really good freshman year, got a little banged up. I think it was against Ole Miss, and that cut into his production. And then sophomore year, I don't know if you want to call it the sophomore slump or what, but he just had a tough sophomore year, wasn't getting the ball a lot. And honestly, in this day and age, I think a lot of guys who come in and had a good freshman year, and then their production and playing time had decreased the next year. A lot of them would be in that transfer portal. So I give Trey a lot. I'm not knocking guys for transferring. I mean, that's obviously their right to do that. You wish them well at the next place, and for a lot of guys, it might be the best thing to do. But I give Trey credit for sticking around, and I think he was hoping to come in and be a big part of the wide receiver rotation, and he's a solid receiver, but he wasn't getting a lot of playing time. And they obviously had a need at tight end. They moved some other guys over there and had injury issues, and guys didn't stick. And obviously, it's good for them that Dominique Johnson, that was a short-lived thing, but Trey's been very productive. If you look at the end of the Ole Miss game on that drive that, got him within a point, he caught a couple big passes that the drive the other day. I think he caught 3 balls. They weren't for a ton of yards, but they kept the chains moving. And it's like Sam Pittman said, for an NFL future, Trey Knox is probably like average speed for a receiver for a tight end. He's very fast. He needs to add some weight, and you hope that won't slow him down much, if at all. But I think he could be a really, really good. I think he's a good tight end for him now. He can be really good in the future with an off season to add a little bit more weight, get a little bit stronger, so he can be more physical. He's a pretty physical wide receiver, but obviously it's a different animal at tight end when you're in there maybe blocking, defensive ends instead of cornerbacks.
Mm. And after the week that Dom Johnson had last week against Mississippi State, going for 107 yards on the ground, is he clear-cut going to be the number 1 guy for the last 3 games of the regular season and the bowl game?
I would think so, as long as he stays healthy. Sam Pittman had basically been beating the drums for Dominic for, close to a month. Mm-hmm. And we need to get the guy the ball more. And I remember, against UAPB, he had 91 yards rushing, which is really good, but it was only 6 carries. And, of course, you don't want to overwork a guy against UAPB, all due respect to them. But, I was kind of amazed as the game was going on. I remember thinking, well, gosh, what were Dominique's most carries in a game? Was it 9 or 10 or what was it? I looked it up, and I was kind of shocked. It was 6. I think he'd done that 3 times.
Wow.
He had not had 6 carries, which kind of blew my mind. He had 39 carries on the season, and he was averaging almost 7.9 yards a carry. Now, the other guy, Traylon Smith, had been good, and, Rakeem Rocket Sanders had been good, but you're thinking they're averaging around, 4.85, whatever. This guy's averaging 8 carries.
Mm-hmm.
8 yards a carry. And so, they started him and made sure he got the ball a lot. And I think, he could probably carry 20-plus times. You don't want to wear him out totally, and they've got good depth there. But, he did. He had a heck of a game for a true or a sophomore. But he hadn't played a lot. I kind of think of him as a freshman. And he's obviously got that COVID year if he wants it. It's back. But, I thought he had a great game for him.
Mm-hmm. And on the defensive side of the ball this week, what do you expect to see out of Barry Odom's defense as far as a game plan to try to slow down LSU?
Well, it'll be interesting. I think they're going to mix it up like they have, with different looks. And, Max Johnson's a sophomore quarterback, and they're talking about playing the other quarterback, Garrett Nussmeier. Essentially, their dads both have NFL backgrounds as players, and Nussmeier's a coach for the Cowboys. He was a quarterback's coach for the Cowboys. His dad, Doug Nussmeier, and Brad Johnson, Max Johnson's dad, played for the Vikings in Tampa Bay. I think he was the quarterback when the Buccaneers won the Super Bowl. I might be wrong about it. And so they obviously have good bloodlines, good pedigree, however you want to put it. But I would think they would want to make. Johnson have to throw into a lot of coverage, or Nussmeier, whoever may be playing. LSU ran the ball okay at Alabama, had over 100 yards, but they've struggled to run the ball. So I would think they would want to make LSU try. They'd want to try to make those young quarterbacks beat them, is what I would suspect.
Bob, let's talk basketball here. You've had a chance to get eyes on the men's basketball team for the 2 exhibitions, and now the opener against Mercer. Are you worried at all about point guard play for this team? That's been the overarching theme so far from us about things to not to work on, but really to develop as somebody who who I don't know if they've played point guard very much in their careers, but it seems like it's a problem right now. What do you see moving forward?
Well, it's definitely a concern when you look at their assist to turnover ratio. They've had, if you add in the exhibition games, they've had more turnovers than assists. And JT Note is a wonderful player. Great scorer. He had 30 points the other night. He's really not a pass first kind of guy, and he probably shouldn't be the way he can score. I think Chris Wykes is kind of the same way. He's a score first guy. It's really wild to me. The craziest stat the other night to me was that Devo Davis played like 34 minutes. Not only did he not score, he didn't take a shot, didn't take a free throw. Now, he had 5 turnovers, so that took away some shooting opportunities. But talking to Eric yesterday, it sounds like they're going to probably put Devo at the point, which he played in high school. And last year, he really didn't play it much, if at all. He was playing the 2 or the 3. Obviously a very good rebounder for guard. And Eric praised his defense the other night, and he did have 4 boards, which is really good for a guard. But, the best passer on the team right now looks like it's Jalen Williams. Mm. And, I guess you can't play him a point guard. Eric maybe like point forward. Maybe you have him out there, outside some kind of surveying the court. He's got very good court vision. He's got good hands. I think he's just got a good feel for passing. So I don't think he's going to be the point guard, but I think he's a guy that they may look to get him more involved as a passer. Maybe with some NBA type sets where a lot of times you see big guys outside if they're good ball handlers. But I think you're going to probably see Devo doing more of that point guard work because he's maybe a little bit more of a pass guy, although he obviously can score. I don't think there's going to be any other games where he's going to take a shot. Well, if he plays 30 plus minutes, I guess we'll see how that turns out. Yeah, I'd say point guard play is a concern, but it's a team with a lot of talent. I know they got down again in the first half. That kind of seems to be their MO going back to last season, but they, had a nice win. I think Mercer's a solid team, veteran team, shoots the ball well. Openers are always kind of unpredictable. You look around the country, and there were some tough games for some teams you wouldn't have thought would get beat or get play that close. I think, it's a cliche, but I think Arkansas is a work in progress and probably will be at least going into SEC play.
Well, that mirrors the rest of us then, so that's okay. Bob, we'll leave it there. Have a great weekend. Enjoy all the sports that you're covering, which is tough for me to keep track of. And we'll look forward to talking to you again next week.
We're back, and better than ever, a new web interface to start the basketball season and more props, odds, and lines than ever before. BetOnline remains your #1 spot for all basketball and football action this season. Head to the new updated desktop or mobile website to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Just use our promo code BELIEVE50 to receive your bonus. That's BLEAV 50 to receive your bonus. From basketball, football, and baseball postseason, NHL, boxing, and UFC, right to your favorite Vegas casino games. Don't wait to take advantage of all the amazing offers available for the 2021 season. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to bet on all your favorite sports. BetOnline, where the game starts.